What's up, Saffron? Good to see you, man. Or woman. I actually never confirmed. You know, I figured, I really, honestly, truly did not plan on doing this tonight. Mr. President, I think this topic should have your attention, sir. Big shout out to Pooh, AKA-DJ-Brixx. I will add a link in the description after the live. Live freedom or live freedom? Hello, Chris. I guess we're gonna have to get that confirmed one way or another. All right, let me get the camera appropriately set up. Shabbat shalom, y'all. That's that DJ-Brixx from Pooh. Alright, I just abruptly cut it, so forgive me. Hope the audio's okay. I don't know if I should be necessarily always talking like this, or if it's okay to use a spatial mic as such. So I'm pretty, let me say hello. Kyle, if I don't know which Kyle you are, but I'm really, really happy to see you. If you're the Kyle I think you are. Either way, I'm just happy to see any and all of you. I'm going to put the chat down for a moment. This, to me, is important for various reasons. Alright, for one, I'm going to share why I'm... Oh, you're... Am a lady? Okay, Saffron, my lady. I'm glad that we got that cleared up, sincerely. Alright, I am ashamed to share that just today, okay, while I was at work, my coworker had shared with me that Paul Whelan, I'm so sorry if I am saying his name incorrectly. I'm pissed off twofold, okay? For one, I had no idea about Paul Whelan. I didn't know his background. I was completely blissfully unaware of his being held prisoner in Russia, the circumstances and his service. Blissfully unaware. And let me also be very transparent and forthcoming about the fact that, hey D-Libby, 68, and to D-Libby's son, you are special, you are awesome, you are amazing, and you're very, very lucky to have a mother like D-Libby right there, okay? I actually kept that comment that you wrote, and I'm printing a physical copy to keep it for myself. It is one of the examples of why I do what I do. It's one of the overwhelming examples of the positive things that come out of this. I'm never gonna just ever focus on the negative stuff. It's so silly. So my coworker told me about Paul Whelan, and after going through some of the information about the man, I'm not certain I read the right stuff. So if I have it right, and I'm going to find out in real time. I like learning in real time. I like talking with you in the chat. He was a Marine, is a Marine. You never was a Marine. And I read an article about somebody else entirely, unless the name was different in 2018. Somebody that was a reservist for SEAL Team 6 and then was an active member in SEAL Team 5. So, I don't know. I'm going to correct some of the missing links here. And I do, have no fear, by the way. I got a bunch of tabs open, and I'm going to change the cam. So I got some articles selected, and I want to do this right. Let me close some things before... I got a movie up that somebody told me to watch later. Okay, where do I start? So, here's what I wanted to share about the Brittany Griner thing. When this thing first happened, it's not that I was so different back then. When I was still stuck in the middle, so it was a part of my day-to-day to have very strong political convictions and opinions. And I was of the opinion, and I'm aware... Hi, Christina J. Hey, Christina J. Welcome, Joey Cactus, Mr. Sean, Queen Survivor. Yeah, well, about that, Kyle. So, from what I understand, and as I recall, when Griner was put away, I was on the side, And I hate that everything falls into sides. I hate the tribalism, the factioning, but I did believe, she was an Olympic sports. She was an Olympic basketball player or professional basketball player, right? And she was detained. She was caught with marijuana, and she was put away. But I also remember she made headlines because she did not wish to participate in the national anthem. I do not have her quotes accessible. You know what? I have a few articles. So let's see where I start. Let's start at the beginning. Let me break up the, so you can see what I see. Make this a little more interactive. Let's see what we learn. I do have a video that I'm going to share. What do we have here? Okay, something unrelated. So there's our lady. By the way, I heard this has no bearing, by the way. So I'm just going to ask the chat. Maybe I'll find out in the article. But these days, 2022, they don't really put all of the facts because optics are more important than facts or feelings or whatever. I don't know. Is Griner, and I mean no disrespect, humbly, is Griner trans? It doesn't matter. I just would like to know for the sake of knowing everything, the facts. So, okay, American basketball star. Okay. Brittany Griner headed home Thursday night, freed from Russian prison in exchange for the U.S. releasing notorious Russian arms dealer Viktor Bout. A notorious arms dealer was freed for this professional anti-patriotic, which is it's everybody's freedom to make these decisions, right? And I didn't finish. When this first started, I was very much on the side of why aren't we doing more? Okay, that's where I started. But as the world turns and as we continue to get more information as it becomes available, as with everything, the evolution begins. So I don't know where I stand right now, and I don't know how I feel, and I have some research pulled up about this Viktor Bout individual and just how terrible was he. So let me read the article and learn in real time here. Okay, so the arms deal Viktor Bout in the culmination of an 8-month saga of high diplomacy and dashed hopes. But the U.S. failed to win freedom for another American. He gets a little sentence in this one. Paul Whelan, similar to my last name, jailed in Russia for nearly 4 years. 4 years. Okay. The deal, the second in 8 months amid tensions over Russia's invasion of Ukraine, secured the release of the most prominent American. She's the most prominent American. Why? Because she's famous? I'm sorry if I'd put our military above a basketball player, star, what have you, celebrity. Man, I hate this disrespect of, the working class and then those that serve our country. There's a higher standard. Like, for one, with the working class, I'd be like, okay, that we should hold them equally as important to a freaking celebrity of any notoriety. But when it comes to our own military and service personnel, they would take a higher threshold and standard above any celebrity ever. They served our country, okay? So the fact that this dude got put away, and if I read the correct article earlier because he had a firearm, I don't know. I guess I'm going to learn right now. Hey, what's up? Jessica, hello. Okay, hey, Frankie, it's great to see you. I'm really getting accustomed to seeing you around here, and I'm grateful for it. So let's see here, prominent American. Sorry, that threw me on a tangent. Detained abroad and achieved a top goal for President Joe Biden. That was a top goal, okay. Yet it carried what U.S. officials conceded was a heavy price. I'd say so. She's safe. She's on a plane. She's on her way home. That was of this specific article. That was put right at the top. Biden said from the White House, where he was accompanied by Griner's wife, Cheryl, and administration officials. Give me something substantial here. Biden's authorization to release Bout, the arms dealer, who I heard was pretty serious news. The Russian felon, once nicknamed the Merchant of Death, underscored the heightened urgency that his administration faced to get Griner home. particularly after the recent resolution of her criminal case on drug charges and her subsequent transfer to a penal colony. Griner, who also played pro basketball in Russia, was arrested at an airport. We all know this. She was carrying a vape canisters with cannabis oil. Okay, unpopular opinion, and maybe not one that I had when this first broke out as news, international news. You were an Olympian, a basketball professional star, celebrity, whatever. You can't tell me that you couldn't keep your little CBD or marijuana oil at home just for the sake of this very thing that you found yourself in and avoid all of this. And instead of getting your ass somewhere that had to be bailed out, we could have maybe gotten some military individuals freed from being, held captive by the enemy. I'm almost certain, I don't know who would get it worse. Somebody that served in the U.S. military, a freaking Marine, or some name that was in some headlines playing basketball in the States, women's basketball. Just adding that, okay? I'm not trying to throw shade at that. I'm just saying it's, we know it's not as big as the NBA. All right. I'm just, damn it. She should have known. What is her excuse? I would love to know. What is her answer when the microphone is at her face? And like I've seen so many articles with Whelan's family making comments about this, and I didn't even check. What is going to be her excuse? She couldn't just, leave it at home? No, her needs were more important. Was it for the anxiety? Okay, all right, I'm going to get on a tangent and I'll lose it here. Hey, Pixie Girl. And listen, I understand that I may share sentiments that are not popular. I did well enough to kind of leave politics in the rear view because it was too divisive and people wanted more echo chambers, but I'm going to speak my opinion. I'm receptive to changing my opinion based on the information shared. So let's see where this goes, okay? Griner is a two-time Olympic gold medalist. That doesn't make her any more important than a fucking Marine. Baylor University All-American and Phoenix Mercury pro basketball star whose arrest made her the most high-profile American jailed abroad. Higher profile than a Marine that served and risked his life for our country. Cool. Her status as an openly gay black woman. Okay. Are they playing the identity politics card? I'm only asking the question. What is it really relevant? Openly gay black woman. How about just American? How about that for the article? Or is that not sensational enough? Is it these very words that help add to the divisiveness of having this conversation? I ask. And is it on purpose? Mockingbird, I'm telling you. Okay? I know it might sound pretty freaking tinfoil hat of me to suggest that them using these key words, maybe they're just, dotting the I's and crossing the T's with their facts here, but they could have just said, female American. But no, okay. Openly gay, black All-American. Gotcha. Copy that. I lost my place. Sorry. The most high profile. Locked up in a country where authorities have been hostile to the LGBTQ. How about hostile to American military personnel? Injected racial, gender, and social dynamics into. So this is a fluff piece. They're building up the sympathy for me to be much more happy that she was freed and that the dealer of death is free as well. Okay. All right, man. I'm just thinking out loud. Gender and social dynamics into her legal saga and brought unprecedented attention to the population of wrongful detainees. Really? Or is that just how the media has spun it to us? I bet you if the media paid more attention in reporting about any of our boys or our brothers and sisters that have served, that are in Russia being detained or held against their will, which there's no other kind, I'm sure that would have made more news and more headlines. The Russian Foreign Ministry confirmed the swap, saying in a statement carried by Russian news agencies that the exchange took place in Abu Dhabi and that Bout, that's Victor Bout, had been flown home. Russian media showed Griner walking off a Russian plane in Abu Dhabi, where she was greeted by by a U.S. official. Two Russians greeted Bout with a hug. The arms dealer of death guy. They hugged him. Later, Biden spoke by phone with Griner, and she was expected back in the U.S. within 24 hours. Biden said U.S. officials said she would be offered specialized medical services and counseling. I'm very curious about her first interview. Both Russian and U.S. officials had conveyed cautious optimism in recent weeks after months of strained negotiations, with Biden saying in November that he was hopeful that Russia would engage in a deal now that the midterm elections were completed. Oh, yeah. That's why this got done. Not because Biden really gives a shit. The election thing, right? Midterms, come on. Biden, what was I thinking? That's right, the marionettes. They're pulling the strings here. Okay, all right, I don't know how much more of this fluff I want to read, honestly. Even so, tell me this is almost over. Tell me, I've lost my interest in this article. The fact the deal was a one-on-one or one-for-one swap was a surprise, given that the U.S. officials had for months expressed their determination to bring home both Griner and Whelan, a Michigan corporate security. Oh, okay. Let me correct myself if I'm wrong, please. A Michigan corporate security executive jailed in Russia since December 2018 on espionage charges that his family and the U.S. government have said are baseless. Okay. We've not forgotten about Paul Whelan. I bet you he doesn't feel the same, Mr. Biden. We will keep negotiating in good faith for Paul's release. Man, the priorities are so backwards. The country feels backwards. Everything's so backwards. Our economy, the way we look at the value of things, digital currency, our money just being printed. I mean, everything. Everything feels backwards. After the lockdowns and the way jobs have changed, and so many things are just rapidly changing. The influence of social media on our psyche. Everything. I'm in the twilight, where we are in the twilight zone together. Whelan's brother David said in his statement he was so glad for Griner's release, but also disappointed for his family. He credited the White House with giving the Whelan family advance notice. Great. The Biden administration made the right decision to bring Miss Griner home and to make the deal that was possible rather than waiting for one that wasn't going to happen. How could they say that? How do they? Whose quote did I just read? Because I skipped over some of the brother there. Okay, all right. Look at this face, guys, right there. That's the fella, the dealer of death, that has been released to freedom to be hugged by his countrymen. I think we look pretty damn stupid and weak on a global scale. In releasing Bout, the U.S. freed a former Soviet Army lieutenant colonel whom the Justice Department once described as one of the world's most prolific arms dealers. All those connections didn't just go bye-bye when he was being detained over here on our soil. Now he gets to go home and call his old buddies and maybe, deal out some vengeance. What were we thinking? What is this administration thinking? Jesus. All right. I'm getting too amped up, right? Bout was serving a 25-year sentence on charges that he conspired to sell tens of millions of dollars in weapons that U.S. officials said were to be used against Americans. But we got the lady that dribbles the ball out, okay? Biden issued an executive grant of clemency to free the arms dealer from a federal prison in Illinois to effect the prisoner swap. The deal drew criticism from some prominent Republicans, including House Minority, blah, blah, blah. Okay, all right, of course. This is a gift to Vladimir Putin, and it endangers American lives. That is not hyperbolic or crazy. Look, I'm an independent now, right? I voted for DeSantis, the first time I've ever voted Republican in my life. Listen, liberal friends and friends of mine that hate the fact that I talk positive about the right, I'm siding with the Republican sentiment here. We just freed somebody that has become prominent for endangering and supplying the things that unalive American soldiers and individuals, so we could get the chick that bounces the ball. the openly gay. Yeah, I'm not trying to be like I'm not even trying to come off like I don't care that she's gay. All right, she's American. That's all that should matter. Adding those little caveats in the freaking article is just pathetic and insulting to our intelligence, I believe. So let me see about some more of the blowback. Okay, drew criticism, including houseman. Okay. The gift, right? Leaving Paul Whelan behind for this is unconscionable. And that's the only quote they're going to show from there. The U.S.-Russia exchange was carried out despite deteriorating relations between the powers prompted by Moscow's war against Ukraine. The White House said that Kiev was, did I say it right? Provided assurances that terms were limited to the prison swap. All right, I'm skipping because there's another article I got. The public overture drew a rebuke from the Russians, who said they preferred to resolve such cases in private and carried the risk of weakening the U.S. government's negotiating hand for this and future deals by making the administration appear desperate. But the announcement also communicated to the public that Biden was doing what he could and to ensure pressure on the Russians. The release also followed months of back-channel negotiations involving Bill Richardson, the former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations and a frequent emissary in hostage talks, and his top deputy. Okay, I'm done with that article entirely. Let's play a quick clip, okay? I hope it looks okay on your end here. I'll make it a little easier so that my face isn't obscuring or blocking. I hope the volume's all right. Let's give this a go right here. Let's see what it says. I'm going to put the volume a little bit high. All right, let's see how that...
Star Griner back on American soil, but her freedom coming with a big cost. The Pentagon fears that the Merchant of Death Biden traded for her safe return may resume arms trafficking to some of the world's most notorious terror groups.
May resume arms trafficking to the world's worst terrorist groups. That should be the concern that was at the forefront. Not about the optics here. I hear feedback. Sorry, hold on. All right.
Victor Bout supplied arms to groups like Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, and rebels in Rwanda. The cover of today's New York Post sums it up pretty well with a deal with the devil. He was so bad that DEA agents who busted him once said this.
Victor Bout, in my eyes, is one of the most dangerous.
Is the feedback too much, guys? Just let me know. I'm going to lower this a little bit. This is a powerful mic, and I'm still learning with it a little bit. Okay.
Men on the face of the earth.
On the face of the earth.
Without a doubt.
What makes him a threat to the United States?
He's a shadow facilitator. He's arming not only designated terrorist groups, insurgent groups, but he's also arming very powerful drug trafficking cartels around the globe.
The Democrats don't seem too worried.
Well, he has served most of his term, is my understanding, majority of his term.
Look, nobody's doing backflips over here, Dana, that he's a free man again. He would have been free in 2029. It's not like he was serving a life sentence.
They're downplaying that this man was released preemptively. They're trying to make us feel like, oh no, this, it's just a massive arms dealer that garnished and earned the nickname Dealer of Death with massive connections to cartels and terrorist groups. But yeah, it was just a 25-year sentence or 29 years. Come on, just, we got the chick that's, the openly gay basketball dribbler individual. It's all good. Come on, chill, America. Get with it, man. Come on, dude. Come on, for real. I cannot believe I never thought for so many years, I really, truly never thought I'd see the day that I'd be agreeing wholeheartedly, voluntarily with Republicans like this in the current state that I am. I reached out to CanCon, by the way. I do want to talk to him about this.
Oh my God.
Greg?
GSHB. That's all you have to say before you say something else. Glad she's home, but... Glad she's home, but the deal sucks and makes us look like suckers. GSHB, that's all you can say. Bottom line, a good leader could have solved this if our leadership wasn't blinded by the identity variables, right? They looked at the box of identity markers for one person, and they looked at the one for the other, and they made a choice. They claimed they didn't make a choice.
Wait. I think look, I'm not a fan of any of the mainstream news outlets, but this individual, I think he is just touching on one of the very things that I had said or echoed when I read the article, the fluff piece, the identity politics, right? We needed to get the openly gay female basketball player, Olympian, out of Russia, but the, I don't know, corporate security individual that was, I still don't know the details. Thankfully, I have one more article so I can understand Paul Whelan a bit more here.
But there is some kind of evidence that they had made a choice. Now they're denying it. So what you had was an intersectional icon trumping a Marine. That's a strong
A Marine.
And I'm going to go ahead and say Trump would have got.
Okay, so now I can. It's confirmed. We left behind a Marine for this, for identity politics. Is this a win? Democrats, my old friends, I beseech you all. Any of my Democrat friends that still watch this channel, and if you're not offended, and I'm not going to apologize that I have taken to talking about some politics. It's in my blood, and it would be disingenuous of me to hide from anything that I was afraid to talk about for fear of what. It just changed my mind. That's all I can offer. Yeah, we left one of our own behind that voluntarily served our country and put his life on the line, left his family behind, and is detained and still in jail because we had to get the one that was in the headlines out. Okay, a Marine. Now I know. Now I have no reservations about how I feel. I'm pissed.
Both. Or he would have said, screw you all. Or he would have nabbed a Russian abroad and called him a spy and said, okay, now we have 2 for 2. Something like that. As for Bout, what if he's instrumental in killing more Americans? Or, I don't know, more Ukrainians? Or people in general? The trade, as bad as it is, will only get worse. But this isn't, it's a good lesson. If you're up for a job
Thank you,
or if you're
Stacey.
taken hostage, hope that you're non-binary and hope that you're not just a white male who's a Marine.
Judge, if
Laid it on thick there, but I mean, I don't look. I guess you have to. I don't know what you have to do, but it's practical to fight identity politics with identity politics, and these are just the facts and the optics of this situation, this terrible scenario. The fluff piece I read, and I'm not gonna keep saying it. Okay, she is the openly gay African American female. And we got her out because she just wanted to smoke her marijuana. But I hate playing this game, man. The identity politics, the white American Marine. I don't like this. It feels gross. It feels gross, and I hate that this is what it's come down to. We're better than this. I really, really, I feel deeply in my heart that we are. I'm disenfranchised again, and I'm tired of feeling that way.
Biden has any guts at all, Victor Bout, this is what drones are for.
Well, it'll be interesting to see that. I doubt that he's going to do that.
They just said they're just like, maybe he'll pull in Obama and do a drone strike. Which, remember, Obama was the first president to ever do a drone strike on American soil. But he got the bad guy. All right, Biden, your call, I guess. Hey, man, no, I was just looking at the Nikes, man, and looking to protect that laptop and all the stories that would have proven I would have been a terrible candidate, man. Nah, man, that's what we're worried about. We're Hunter Biden's entire, trafficking allegations. That's what we're worried about, man.
Kind of thing. But here, this is one of the things that I keep going back to, and I said it yesterday. There is a reason Russia wanted this now. Russia is in the middle of a war with the Ukraine. They need Victor Bout. Russia is faltering. This war is taking far too long. We had the leverage. Russia wanted him out. They need his help.
The guy with the connections.
We could have said no. And you know what?
Oh, there's the hug. Oh, my God.
We would have been out soon. 5 years without this merchant of death who preys on
Dude,
killing
this is
Americans,
insane
buying
to me.
weapons that kills Americans. And even Senator Bob Menendez, a Democrat, who highlighted Griner's domestic violence conviction, I didn't know that until he said it, said that Russia and other regimes take American citizens hostage, cannot pretend that there is an equivalence between Britain or Griner in the world and Victor Bout. Nothing can be further from the truth.
Chris Wecker, Tuska was on the air when this news broke, former head of the FBI's criminal division who had worked on this case, and he said you'd be hard-pressed to find a man with more blood on his hands than Victor Bout.
Come on
and
now.
He said he was an intelligence officer operative for Putin, and now he resumes that career. That's who's free. And I can tell you that if Brittany Griner had served the amount...
Biden and the Biden administration and every Democrat or individual that backed up and helped this decision come to full fruition to where we are currently, future blood is on your hands. There is an active conflict, proxy war, where we're sending billions and billions of dollars to, by the way. Certain companies, wink wink, that I know of, are now reselling the Russian vodka, and the profits are going towards the Ukraine. Not like, we need any help here in America within our own backyard and our own problems and issues. Not at all, no. Any future blood spilled because of, directly or indirectly, this man, Bout, it's on all of your hands. And shame on you for allowing this to come to right where it is. Appalling. No wonder why I'm struggling with finding the ability to say I'm a patriot and mean it when this kind of shit is happening. I'm disgusted.
Victor Bout looked pretty damn good coming out of prison.
He sure did.
14 years?
14 years.
It's a shame that he's back on the streets, and it's also a good day for America that an American prisoner came home from Russia. And to the point about whether we only care about black basketball playing lesbians, Joe Biden got Trevor Reed, who's a former Marine, out in April. Brittany Griner was sitting in a Russian prison when that happened, and he got the former Marine out. And Trevor Reed went to Russian prison in 2018 when Donald Trump was president, same time that Paul Whelan went.
I read about
Trump
that.
Couldn't get him out of prison, but Joe Biden did. So if this is all about celebrity, and because she's an intersectional icon, I'm not buying it. A Marine came home before Brittany Griner. And I'm not saying that this guy should be on the streets. It's obviously an incredibly difficult idea to wrap your head around, letting someone who has killed so many in her American cause back out there. But I am
you don't address the trade.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well,
I mean, I'm glad she's home, but you're not addressing the trade.
Right.
I just said it's a horrible thing. I also don't know what you would do. I don't know if you leave someone for another 9 years in a penal colony, because
you say no.
I'm confused at what this woman is trying to accomplish here. The trade is terrible, and America lost. And we put somebody that, while a conflict is occurring, with the connections necessary to hurt or unalive other Americans or the people that we keep spending massive, copious amounts of money on to protect. I'm sorry. What argument is she making here? I'm lost.
You know what you do? You read The Art of the Deal, Jessica.
Christmas reading.
I got it.
You know what, like, funny and all, I wish they would continue to take this a bit more seriously and stay on the facts and not go for, like, a punchline. Or is that all you have to do right now? Because we're the clowns, and we're looking weak and stupid. And, Russia now knows, America is all focused on their freaking identity politics. So let's keep just getting the best out of it while we can. Till the clown gets out of office, the geriatric.
For you.
And
also on tape, so she's
for Hanukkah.
He reads it himself.
This is not news.
Well, there's somewhere in between let her rot in Moscow and give up the Merchant of Death. I think we can agree on that. There's somewhere in between there. Now, Ukraine has to be thinking, wait a second, Joe, seriously gonna let...
What's up, Big Barn? By the way, shout out to Big Barn Productions. Just some very nice, peaceful videos. A lot of awesome videos. Feel free to check the channel out.
Merchant of Death out while we're at war with these guys?
Exactly.
And I'm wondering how Griner's feeling walking around the United States right now.
I bet you she don't care.
High, or is her head held low?
She doesn't care. She doesn't care.
Her interagent are responsible for springing the Merchant of Death out there in the world. And Biden said he did this because he was under a tremendous amount of pressure from black women.
What?
Really?
I didn't. That's a quote. I'm assuming that's a direct quote. I gotta find this. I gotta find a transcript or something, because that's what you do. Please find Cannabis Conservative, aka CanCon, on Rumble.com, locals. I'm gonna get that verified.
A tremendous amount of pressure from black women, and he acts like this. He's not under any pressure over the border. He's not under any pressure for inflation. He's not under any pressure for anything else in this ridiculous administration. But he's under pressure for black women, and he springs this celebrity out like that?
Like that, 294
Like that?
days.
Midterms, buddy. Midterms. It's a big old pander. He didn't do it because it was right. He did it because he know that demographic, that constituency are going to vote. I guess. And I think it's another slap in the face and an insult to the intelligence of black American women. Honestly, I can't speak for them, but I would assume, if they could just look beyond the identity politics and look at the real optics here, they'd be insulted that he even said that.
Death? I mean, I don't know. I mean, this guy.
You would have left her?
This is not saying I would have left
Red
her.
Reaper.
What are you
So,
saying,
I'm
Jesse?
saying this. If you have all these sanctions on this country,
damn right,
and if
Greg.
you have all these weapons that are pouring in, killing these Russians, and we have all this oil under the ground here, there's not something we could have done better to get a better deal. There's not something. Hey, Vlad, your little oligarch's yacht that we just stole. We'll give the yacht back. How about we get Whelan and the bull?
I don't think that black
All right,
women
throw in another yacht.
Queen, you're amazing. Thank you for being so sharp, as you always are.
Do
We
not
gotta go.
try
Throw in
to
another
make
yacht.
it
All right,
now.
all right, all right.
You need
And this
them
is
now
what the-
because you need them in the war.
Yes, exactly. And we gave them one of their most instrumental individuals. So let me learn real quick, live, as I prefer to do everything, about Paul Whelan. Or no, who is Paul Whelan? And then what is this? I guess we're going to maybe learn about Victor Bout. Okay, let me see some of this video, but I did open this tab in this article so I could have the information available. I want to know about the Marine that served our country and is being held and was passed over like he was nothing because of identity politics and celebrity status. Tell us we haven't lost our way, America. Explain to me again why I just don't feel the patriot and progressive patriot, nor do I feel progressive. By the way, let me make that clear. The progressive values that I have always had have taken a huge backseat because things have become so absolutely critical, detrimental, that I don't feel like I can be any of the things that I ever wanted to be as an American citizen because things are just so effed up. Things gotta change, man. I don't know how long we can all take this collectively. Let me see what this is about. I don't know what I volunteered for here. There's an ad. Apologies for that. Hey, Unspecified V. It's great to see. Oh, that's you? Holy snap. I had no idea. That's an OG right there. She's been with me for a long time. Jeez, V. All right, hold on.
Suggesting a swap with Russia that would result in the return home of WNBA star Brittany Griner and another jailed.
At least they're going to juxtapose it to Paul Whelan, and let's see what we can learn about him before I read further. V, I had no idea. You look younger. I didn't know. I don't know how old you are. And let me stop burying a hole for myself. Okay.
American Paul Whelan, but will Russia take this deal? Senior Foreign Affairs.
Yeah, all right. We already know. Okay, all right. Here is the article I got about Paul Whelan, titled "Who is Paul Whelan?" Let's find out. The United States government completed. We already know this. Let's get to it. Biden administration. Blah blah blah. The ground. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Merchant of Death. He served 11 years out of a 25-year conviction, but the Kremlin gave the U.S. the option for only Griner's return. So we got to dance to what the Kremlin wanted. Disgusting. God, we look so stupid. The female athlete, blah, blah, blah. All right, the grounds for Whelan's arrest remains dubious, with different accounts from U.S. and Russian authorities. Whelan has been in Russian custody for nearly 4 years, convicted on charges of espionage and spying for the U.S. government, and sentenced to 16 years in prison. Whelan and the U.S. have denied the charges as the 52-year-old... We left the 52-year-old Marine, and we got the young not gonna keep using the identity politics terms here, okay? But wow, we want to give this Marine who fought for our country some more time with his family, the stress of being in a foreign prison. But we got the younger one that needed her CB frickin' D. Okay, imprisoned at a labor camp in Russia's Mordovia Republic. Okay. Whelan's family congratulated Griner because they're amazing human beings, clearly. Who is Victor Bout now? I think I learned enough. She will be reunited with her family. Brittany is free, and Paul is still a hostage. But how many more times do I need to write that? David Whelan, Paul's brother, wrote in a statement on Thursday. That's the brother right there. Sham trial, meatball surgery, no human rights. Paul's life matters. Decisive action from POTUS and Prime Minister needed. Happy birthday, Flora. That was from 2020. So I'm missing a little context there. I want to know who Paul Whelan is. All right. So more of the quote. Despite the possibility that there might be an exchange without Paul, our family is still devastated. Christmas around the corner. I can't even fathom how Paul will feel when he learns. Paul has worked so hard to survive nearly 4 years of this injustice. On December 28th, 2018, while staying in a hotel in the Moscow area, Whelan was arrested by the Russian Federal Security Service. At the time, Whelan had reportedly arrived in the Russian capital to attend the wedding for a friend and act as a travel guide for the groom's family. However, Russian officials claim that Whelan had met with an unnamed Russian citizen who gave the former Marine a USB drive containing classified material. You know what? I know like how these games are played, so I am not the one to say what's true or what's not. But if say Russia learns that there is a Marine on Russian soil, they could make up any old thing they want to get him arrested. So I'm going to keep that within the realm of possibility. I'm not going to say that I'm right. I'm going to say it's possible. So they could have absolutely just said that this was a thing just to take a Marine off of our hands. At the time, Whelan resided officially in Michigan, working as a corporate security executive for auto parts manufacturer Borg Warner. Whelan had reportedly used his position to connect with law enforcement across different countries and had official citizenship outside the U.S. with Ireland and the U.K. After serving in Iraq, he was dishonorably discharged from the Marine Corps for larceny and other poor conduct-related charges. Okay. I'm playing full speculation here. I understand that certain soldiers that go into deeper cover sometimes have to be discharged in such a way, but I have no facts to back that up. It's simply speculation. Whelan's brother David said he was able to enter Russia using his U.S. passport and planned to leave the country on a flight from St. Petersburg on January 6, 2019. Russian news agencies also claimed Whelan had $80,000 in cash temporarily confiscated, confiscated during an airport custom inspection. Previously, Whelan had been left behind in another prisoner exchange that took place in April during the prisoner transfer for Russian citizen Konstantin Yoroshenko and imprisoned by U.S. citizen Trevor Reed. The U.S. government at the time had reportedly not informed Whelan's family that he would not be included in the exchange. Oh, shit. Probably not. Oh, that sucks. The Bring Our Families Home campaign, a group that advocates for U.S. citizens wrongfully detained in foreign countries, also criticized both the former and current presidential administrations for not securing Whelan's release in the last 4 years. And this was our best chance. And a freaking basketball player. And we give them back a key instrument in war during a time of conflict. Paul Whelan has been let down and left behind at least 3 times by 2 presidents, said the organization in a statement. He deserves better from his government, you damn right. And our campaign implores President Biden to urgently secure Paul's immediate return using all tools available. Vladimir Sherenbenkov, Whelan's attorney based in Russia, expressed disappointment that Whelan was not included in the release, but said choosing Griner was the more humane option because his client was in the military while the athlete was an Olympic champion. Get the shit out of here. Zarabenka dumbass also told the press that negotiations to free Whelan would continue and hopes another exchange. I think this guy is just full of shit and saying, whatever he's supposed to say on his end. And he's giving us, even the American people, what we want to hear. Another exchange could see his client freed in the next few months. I empathize with the fact that this man is probably going to be let down yet again. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden said Russia is treating negotiations over Whelan differently for illegitimate reasons and vowed to continue negotiations for his release, adding, "We have not forgotten about Paul Whelan." Well, yeah, humane. I don't quite understand. I think that the Russian lawyer is not to be trusted. Shock, shock. Yeah, you know what? Let me see. Paul Whelan isn't the only American Biden left behind in the Brittany Griner deal. I'm so reluctant to be opening U.S. and Russia to explore more prisoner swaps. I mean, we dropped the ball. We look like fools. We look weak, and I'm so just saddened and tired of feeling that we always are looking like the world's fool on the world stage. I'm checking out any other. Who else did we leave behind just for Griner, the more humane? What is that even? Paul Whelan. Okay, so I'm not done. That's all I gotta say. I can say with full confidence, we fucked up, man. We screwed up, and this administration and anybody supporting it, and I know that there's gonna be probably the same old individuals that used to call me brother, friend, comrade a little bit more commonly until I started to look into vetted information and look for receipts in terms of what the mainstream media is reporting as fact. And when I try to fact check the fact checkers, just for whatever reason, some of my friends that are still more on the left side don't like when I speak freely on the more political aspects. And please do not fear that this channel will ever go full political. And I do, this is the only thing I will sincerely apologize for. I am a bit exhausted. If you see me like closing my eyes here, it's been a long day. I gotta eat and do all the things here. But aside from that, I know exactly who within my circles are going to chastise me for everything I've said. And somehow I'm going to be lambasted as sexist, and I'm going to be insensitive to the plight of Griner, who I know I have seen articles in the past when this first began that she suffers from anxiety. That's why she needed the CBD. But by God, if it was that bad and debilitating, don't go to Russia. How about that? Tell the people that are in charge of where the hell you go and what you do that you cannot go to a country that has the very substance you seem to rely on. Have them just tell you to sit this one out, Griner. And now I am going to keep my eye on you. Now that you're back home, I'm sure you're going to have some private time with the family, but I'm looking forward to seeing any articles, quotes, or interviews you do, and I want to see you address your own responsibility, that where you screwed up so bad that we had to leave one of our Marines back in Russia just because, apparently, identity politics take the main stage. Headlines, hyperbole, identity politics, and all of that crap takes precedence over saving one of our own brothers and sisters that serve our military. Nonetheless, a Marine, which just so happens to be the branch that I wanted to be in before I was arrested way back in the day. All charges expunged, for the record. And I'm beside myself and disappointed, and I'm going to do what I do, my due diligence, and do more research and try to understand what the hell is going on. I'm tired of feeling like we're all living in the freaking Twilight Zone. I'm exhausted. And literally, I'm also quite exhausted. So, all right, I hope this is what we can consider a unifier, not a divider. Okay, I hope we find, all right, identify the unifiers, and let's call it the divider. Anybody that does disagree with the things that I've said, any of my old friends, or whatever the case, on any side of the spectrum that feels I have represented this in a way that you do not agree with or appreciate, I'm always open for conversation. I have a panel that is open to anybody, unless you're a fucking troll, and we can have a dialogue. We need to have more conversations, not just go for the jugular confrontation. Oh my God, you're left. Oh my God, you're right. You voted for that guy. You voted for that guy. That tribalism is going to be the end of the United States if it keeps on like this, especially with an administration at the helm as they are. Much love to y'all. I very much look forward to the day when I can say I truly feel like the patriot as represented in my name, Progressive Patriot. With that, I'm out. Y'all take care. Get some dinner in you if you haven't eaten yet. It's quite late. I need a day off. All right, I'm out. Much love, guys. Thank you, Stacy, Miss Chronic Chronicles, Birthday Chat Supervisor Justin Ward, Mr. President, Saffron, Big Barn Productions, Unspecified V. And yeah, that's actually V exactly. What's up, HBR at the Crossroads, Queen, and When Evil Entered. I think I already said you twice. All right, I'm out. And Saffron. I really appreciate that you're so diligent. You see I'm live. I think you're the only one that gets the notifications as quick as you do. All right, this is me doing my 12-hour goodbye. Good night, guys. Thank you so much.